Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, I hope everyone is always healthy and still enthusiastic about learning languages. In this video, I will identify problems in writing skills that I've found after doing a service learning program at a junior high school, and then I will explain some material related to these problems, which is morphology material. Okay, no need to linger, let's enjoy this video. Okay, this is the pictures that I take when I'm doing a service learning at Muhammadiyah Junior High School, Surabaya, guys. And so learning English, uh, learning English at school is a second language, which in this learning process it is very possible for errors to occur, where these mistakes are normal to make by the students. One of difficulties or error that can occur is in writing skills. This is indeed quite difficult for students to master. Why? Because writing requires several competencies which are prerequisites. In this process of writing, it is not only necessary to master basic competencies such as grammar and vocabulary, but also involve various aspects of a language, such as sound system, punctuation, spelling, and so on. Nah, the difficulty of skill mastery in writing English is also experienced by the students 8th grade at Muhammadiyah 4 Junior High School, Surabaya. This method proven to still be found mistakes in their writing when making a paragraph essays with a free topic. The errors found in their essay related to grammatical aspects, which is morphological aspects. As in the following sentence, like in the next slide, for number one, at the mall, his mom sees with a woman. In this sentence, shows the assistant at least three errors, and the first, students use the present tense of the verb see. Yeah, in a constructions that should use the past tense. And for second, students use the possessive pronoun his to replace object pronoun him. As we know in English, if it is located as an object, the pronouns used are me, you, us, them, him, her, and it. Because the subject in this sentence is the third person male singular, or which is indicated by the use of the phrase is mom. And for the third, student use the singular numerator form a with the word women, which has a plural meaning. In order to comply with the prevailing rules, the phrase a woman should be created should be, I mean, the phrase a woman should be changed to the phrase woman. So for sentence number one can be corrected to like this, like at the mall, his mom saw him with a woman. This is the right sentence, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. For number two, we have home in Surabaya because my father worked there. In this sentence, the loss of S. Okay, wait for a minute. In this sentence, the loss of S inflection make this sentence less precise. The subject-verb agreement system in English requires a change in the morphological structure of certain verbs. The subject of the subclause in that sentence is my father, or third person singular. So the verb that follows it should get inflection S, guys. So the correct sentence should be: we have a house in Surabaya because my father works there. Yeah, that is the right sentence for number two. And for number three, the last month I follow KMDUM 2022 the Scout training. Use of past tense requires a change in structure morphology of verbs, that is with addition "-ed" or "-d" inflections on the base form. The sentence above used the last time marker one which indicates that the sentence is reversed to events in the past, which is the experience of students when following a training. Thus, the verb follow in this sentence, it must get an inflection at ed, guys. So that the sentence must change to be, sorry, last month I followed KMTUM 2022 the Scout training. Yeah, that's the right sentence for number three. Okay, those are the mistakes then we can find in the essay of grade 8 students at Muhammadiyah Junior High School Surabaya, especially in writing English sentence. For the next sessions, I will explain about the material of morphology. Do you know what is morphology? Yeah, as we can read in this slide, morphology is a study word of formation. Morphology is also the grammatical structure and the categorized realized by term. In linguistics, where terms can be reverted to as morpheme. And do you know what morpheme is? Yeah, a morpheme is a minimal unit of meaning or grammatical function. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units in the structure of the language. There are two types. There are the types of morphemes. Morphemes have two types. There are bound morpheme and free morpheme. Bound morphemes are morphemes which cannot formally stand alone, but which are typically attached to another form. And bound morphemes have two types, two typical morpheme. For number one, inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme is morphemes which change neither part of speech nor meaning. And then derivational morpheme. Derivational morpheme is morphemes which derive or create a new words by changing the meaning or the part of speech. And morphemes are morphemes which can stand by themselves as a single word. Free morphemes have two types morphemes. For number one, lexical morphemes. Lexical morphemes is morphemes that carry the content of the message we convey. And then functional morphemes. Functional morpheme is morphemes that consist largely of the functional words in the language. Okay, for the next slide, I have the inflectional suffixes. This is the function of every inflectional suffix, like we can see in number one, inflectional suffix s. The function for s in these inflectional suffixes is third person singular present. For the example, she waits there at noon. Yeah. For number two, we have ed or ate. The function for ed is past tense to show the time past tense. For the example, she waited here yesterday. Here in this sentence, it shows that happened in the past case. So you can read it by yourself for the next inflectional suffix from number 3 until number 8. And then I have the characteristic of bound morphemes. For inflectional morphemes, the characteristics are number 1, tense, meanings or word class. For example, big, bigger. Number 2, typically indicate syntactic relations between different words in a sentence. For the example, the present tense morpheme "as" in waits show agreement with the subject of the verb. And for number 3 and 4, you can read it by yourself, guys. Okay, for derivational morpheme, the characteristics are number 1, change meaning or word class. Example, main forms noun judgment from the verb judge. And number 2, typically indicate semantic relations with the word. For example, morphemes full in word painful has no particular connection with any other morphemes beyond the word painful. And the next characteristic in number 3 and 4, you can read it by yourself with pause this video, guys. Okay, that's all my explanation about my material and the analyze in this final project video for study program linguistic in ELT. These times, I hope it I hope it can be useful for all of us, especially those who are studying linguistic material such as linguistics. And thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you guys.